We are here for the Education, Environment, Sustainability meeting Wednesday, January 22nd. Can I add about 3:05? Can I have a roll call?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Schlepper.
Here.
Mr. Hauser. Mr. Hauser is absent. Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Present.
There is a quorum.
So I want to begin this meeting by welcoming the new members to this committee. We have new Councilman Robert Schlepper from District 6. Welcome to the Education Environment Committee. Michael Hauser, who can't be here today, and of course, Council President Dale Miller is a new member of this committee, although he's been present in any and all other ways throughout the last 13 years. So I appreciate you being here, and Pernell Jones has been on this committee as well for a very long time. So we have a lot of work to do this coming year, and I appreciate the beginning with several matters referred. But first, do we have public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one is signed in.
We have minutes from November 20th. I guess we'll do our best to, I'm going to make a motion to approve those minutes. Pernell?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
So the question is, we have a motion and a second. The new committee members have the ability to vote this in, or they weren't here, but they've had a chance to review it.
They do.
So that's good. Okay, all members in favor of approving these minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes approved. So we have several matters, ARPA matters referred today, and we're going to go out of order. I do not need to make a motion to amend the agenda to do that. So we're going to begin with Resolution 2025-0011, correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
And ask if we can have a presenter to talk about the Crew Foundation.
Resolution number 2025-0011, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to the Crew Foundation for the purpose of workforce in the Digital Age Project from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Welcome. Name.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair. My name is Sheila Wright. Good morning to all of the members. Should I just, okay.
Sure.
So thank you so much. This body has supported this organization in the past. We are asking for this funding to continue our, not just our summer program, but in an effort to scale our work. We've made some changes since the last time we came before you. We've partnered with Youth Opportunities Unlimited to make sure that they can help provide the stipends. Moving this program, our goal is to move it to a more sustainable model. We will be going for state funding as well. The Crew Foundation stands for, just to remind you and those that are listening, creating real entertainment workforce. And it has been largely, and is largely mostly around the production economy here in Northeast Ohio. We believe that that's an opportunity for us to engage people, whether they have higher degrees or not, to be able to work year-round. There's been a lot of investment, kind of siloed, if you will, in the area of production here. And people may ask, well, films come here, but they don't stay. So what are you training them to? And we believe we have a model that stands up our trainees to work with the existing ecosystem so that they can hire year-round. This past cohort, we have people who, one, came to work for us in the Crew Foundation. We were able to help with scholarships. We were able to help with certifications. We have people who are going on to film school. We have people that worked on the Superman project. And so we've studied this for a long time. We have proof of concept. We've been doing this. We're refining it as we go. Our goal, quite frankly, is to get to a point where we don't have to come before you, that it becomes more sustainable, that we work with direct industry and they can begin to hire our people and allow them to train on set. But we got to build a workforce here. It aligns to the work of the Ohio Motion Picture Tax Credit, so this is not happening in a vacuum. It also aligns to the investments that stakeholders are making into digital literacy and digital equity, because there's an intersection there, and we train people in that, so they're advancing in that as well. So this is tapped into things that are already being invested in. It's a new approach because we are lean. The Crew Foundation is a lean organization. So when dollars come in, it goes to the trainees. It goes to their training, their experience, their work on first-class equipment. We are not hoarding these dollars for operations. And that's not to say any other organizations do that. Operations are important. But we were fortunate to bring about leaders who care about this and to make sure this is not the, I guess, the primary way to make a living for those of us involved. It's a passion project that we believe is long-term, but for our involvement is to stand it up. We stood up Playhouse Square in Northeast Ohio. We didn't need a commission to do that. We didn't need an incentive. And now Playhouse Square is one of the largest economic drivers in Cleveland. People don't know that. And so we believe not just attracting projects here, we need to stand up the economy that is here. And that's what we want to do by training and investing to players in the ecosystem. So this is just to help us continue to build. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. Any questions from committee members? And this is sponsored by Purnell Jones. You want to speak to this first?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I think first I want to just tell you a little bit about Sheila Wright. And we haven't known each other long. It's only been a few years, but I've gotten to know her well as a person, her character, the experience, the expertise that she brings to the table. She works directly with Al Radner in the Radner family's office in Shaker, and is a strong asset in their business and their operation. But her passion, as you see, is in the film industry. And our role as a county government to improve this economy, when we think about the movie industry, we've had the Superman movie here, but they only filmed for a short time. They liked our landscape and our downtown, but then they went to Atlanta and spent a lot more time because they had a sound stage, which we don't have. So Sheila Wright, not to say that you're doing a sound stage today or, not putting words in your mouth, but she is moving us in the direction where we create a crew, to use your own title, to create a workforce where we can start moving and building a more sustainable workforce that is year-round. So the time I've had to spend with her, to talk with her, to see her vision, and to do what we can to be a part of the success for yourself and for this community in terms of building an industry in time that is sustainable year-round when it comes to film and production, and giving the residents of this community an opportunity to be a part of this industry, because we have the ability in the city of Cleveland to host these films. We give tax credits, and those films come when they get tax credits. They'll leave New York and come here in a minute. But we want to have a robust industry in place that they can take advantage of. So they're currently taking advantage, but we want them to take a greater advantage of what we have if we build that capacity here. And Sheila Wright is on the path with this small step in that direction. So I am happy when you reached out for support. I'm happy to be a part of what you're building.
Thank you so much for those kind words.
Okay. Any questions, committee? Okay, very fast. So Youth Opportunity Unlimited is going to be providing students, youth to participate in the summer youth program?
Stipends. They will provide the stipends. We will be working with Cleveland School of the Arts. We will be working with Collinwood and Academy.
Okay.
Warrensville Heights, Cleveland Heights, and their network of students as well, Youth Opportunity Unlimited.
Theirs.
So we cast a wide net. It's going to take place at Case Western Reserve Think Box. That's where we've done the training through the summer. And I just want to say, well, go ahead. You have the other question.
Go.
I know you guys have a lot of requests to come before you, so it's always important in working for a funder. You always want to know, what does this plug into? Why is this relevant? And if we did not have it at the state level, if we didn't have the investments around digital equity, and if we didn't have the opportunity to create jobs year-round, I wouldn't be before you. But we have a state film school at Cleveland State University. We have a film program at Tri-C Community College. Our program will feed into those for those who want to go to college. But not everyone does. Not everyone wants to go to college. And I will tell you, the only two people out of our program this summer who did not work were high school students. Everyone else had graduated from high school, and they all worked year-round. We got them freelance jobs. They learned what they can do. The cohort before this worked with the Cleveland Browns. They spent the day and they showed them this is what it takes to come in and be a part of our production team. So we love the idea of the big films coming here, and that's important for a robust film industry. But we are getting kids leaning in, young people. Film is sexy. And while we got them, we give them universal skills. We teach them mastery, foundational principles of production. They can leave us and work on a set. They can leave us and do a wedding. They can leave us and start their own business. We're teaching them entrepreneurship. They have access to so much with such a measured amount of investment. We are maximizing this in every way that we can.
So my second question was, and I asked you this last time, are you turning anybody away, or is there space and resources sufficient to take who wants to come?
Now that especially now that YLU is on board, we are not turning anyone away. What I will tell you, we do create a competitive process, and it is not competitive based on grades. Because, I mean,
You told me this last time. You explained this.
Who among
Right.
us would be successful was all about grades. But it is about their passion, their discipline, and them following the process. So if they follow our process, they're in. And we don't make it impossible, but we do make sure, because there's a lot of people who, you say film, you say you're getting paid, we feed them well. And we're good use of these county dollars, but they eat well. We provide transportation, bus tickets. I mean, who wouldn't want to do this? So we make sure that they are in it for what for what they want to do. That this is something that they want to do beyond it. Not just that they're curious, which is fine. Our year-long effort to scale this will provide opportunities for those who may just be curious, for those who may just want a touch point. And let me just tell you, the intersectionalities are happening. We have people who want to go into costuming. There's a young lady, Alexandria, who went to Case for costume design. We've pulled her in now because they may not want to work on this aspect of the production. We treat this as project-based manufacturing. So it's just like a construction job or building a building. There's so many aspects to this. I mean, it's just wild to me. So.
Thank you so much. So, okay, without further ado, I'm gonna, and you know the drill. We'll read this 3 times. So, do I have a motion to pass this out of committee and refer to the next full council meeting for second reading? Okay, second.
Second.
Thank you, President.
Second, from Councilman Schlepper. All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Okay, none opposed. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see
I
you.
appreciate your work.
Thank you. Thank you for
I'll
letting me
catch
go.
up with you. Okay.
Everyone.
All right, next matter will be 2024-0398.
Resolution number 2024-0398, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Women of Color Foundation for personal and professional development training programs from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Is someone here to speak to this? Okay, come on up.
No. This is my first time here, so any support that you can give me is greatly appreciated. Okay, thank you.
Give your name for the record.
My name is Alexandria Johnson Boone, and I am the chairwoman and founder of the Women of Color Foundation. And we have been a foundation for 23 years. And my primary focus, my life's work, is to help women and girls of all colors with career development, leadership development, training, so that they can take over the world. Women and girls are under attack. At this point, it doesn't matter color or age. So we have programs to work with millennial women. We work with students. We're supported by many local foundations, the Deaconess Foundation, the St. Luke's Foundation. We even started a program for women of color, African-American women specifically, who were living at or below the poverty line. St. Luke's sponsored them, and the Deaconess Foundation gave us the Fill the Gap funding, And these young women were amazing. I mean, we had a graduation ceremony for them. One of our graduates is getting ready to buy a house. We hooked her up with Dollar Bank, and it's been my life's work. I am about to be 78 years old, and I hope I live to be 278 because the work means so much to me. I remember two things that I won't forget that people said to us. Other than you've changed my life, thank you, because we provide scholarships when women don't have a way to pay. Some of my funders will provide money for scholarships for them to attend. So one woman called me, Fifth Third Bank, and she was their talent manager, and she wanted to know if they could use one of their slots for a young lady who had just been released from prison. And I said, no. I said, I'll give you a slot for her because, but for the grace of God, there go I. The second one, and so anyway, the woman came and she was dressed like she was going to church because she didn't know what to do. She had on a hat, and we did it at the Firestone Country Club, so she'd never even seen a place like that. And after the event was over, I got a letter from her about 2 weeks later, and it had a check in it for $10. And she said, I know it may not help, but I just want you to know that this is all I have, and I would like for you to have it so that somebody else can have the experience that I've had. And then when people say, you've changed my life, or they call and cry, that lets me know that I have to keep doing this, 78 years old or not. Because the most important day for me and for others, I hope, is not the day that you were born. It's the day that you realize what you were born to do. I am a fierce champion for women and girls of all colors, and I tell all my girlfriends, Trina Evans from Key Bank and Kathy Belk from Deaconess Foundation, these are white females that I've known for years. They helped me build this foundation, and we're still here after 23 years. And they were like, I'll never forget, Joanne Clark at the National City Foundation said to me, well, Alex, I don't know if Black women need a special place to do things and to talk about things. She says, but if you say they do, then I know it's true. And they wrote a check for $10,000 23 years ago, and we're still here. And I believe in financing your own dream, so I've actually put money in the foundation to keep it going. But now our brand is so strong, and the work that we have done is so highly regarded that we get support from individuals and foundations and corporations.
Great. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Well, thank you.
for all your work. We appreciate it. Any questions from committee members? Okay, well, thank you for your life's work and knowing what you want and your passion. And we today are going to consider an allocation to you, your organization of $10,000 from District 9, which is Councilwoman Turner.
Meredith Turner, my hero.
So I'm sure she
Hero.
feels the same about you. I can't speak for her, but she's, she set forth this resolution. So we're going to, we read this 3 times. So today's committee, and then it will go to council, and it will be read, and then a third reading. The full council will consider it. So we thank you for coming down today. You don't have to come back unless you want to. And we're going to, I'm going to make a motion that this resolution pass out of committee and be referred to the next full council meeting with second reading. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so this passed out of committee, and then I'm sure Councilwoman Turner will be in touch.
Okay, thank you. Can I just say one thing about
Okay.
about 2 people? I have been working with Cynthia and Trevor. They are both amazing.
Okay, well, Trevor's in the back, so he can raise his hand if you want to go. So, yeah, this Trevor McAleer, and unfortunately Cynthia's not
I mean,
here.
I just would have given up, I just
Yeah,
had
we
so-
know how
so many
great.
things going on, and they're just so darn efficient. Oh, my God.
I know
Thank you
it.
for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you for coming down on this cold day.
All right, yes.
You must,
Very cold.
means
day.
a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item, 2024-0434.
Resolution number 2024-0434, awarding a total sum not to exceed $20,000 to Dress for Success Cleveland for general operating support from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Okay, and come on up to the podium. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name's Melanie Butler. I'm the CEO of Just for Success, and we have our board chair here.
Yes, I'm Diamond Adams.
Nice to meet both of you. So we have an item before us for your organization. Do you want to tell us about how this will be used and what your organization does for those who don't know?
Absolutely. Dress for Success is part of a worldwide initiative for women to empower women to achieve their economic independence. And we exist in 23 countries across, in 23 countries and about 130 offices across the globe. And Dress for Success Cleveland started in 1998, and we've been here over 26 years. We've empowered over 26,000 women, and we do that through a holistic process. Our global mission is to make sure that women have livable wages and achieve employment, and that they have a financial acumen, that it's not about what you make, it's about about what you do with what you make, is our belief, and that women are able to sustain employment. We all know that it's one thing to get a job, it's another thing to sustain employment. And so we provide tools and awarenesses to women to make a difference for not only themselves, but we believe when women make a difference in their lives, they impact generational change. And then the last pillar of importance is that women have awareness of issues that impact their development in their various communities. We have 5 different programs locally. With us being a national organization or a global organization, we are allowed to, make our programs fit our communities. And so in Cleveland, we actually made a chart, if you, slide 3, that shows our impact and how we're received and relate in Cleveland. We're a host agency, and we provide workforce experience, on-the-job training, and that can be in retail, administrative, or customer service. We provide one-on-one classroom and cohort learning experiences. We provide women attire, and I think that's what everybody kind of knows us for, but that's kind of just a small token on the scale of things. And today, our attire is for women going into all professions. A lot of times people think we only need dress clothes for interviews. That's not true. We provide women medical scrubs. We provide women manufacturing gear, boots. The problem is most people don't have those things to donate, and we're a donate-based organization. So today we are purchasing skid-proof shoes. We have women that come and say, I cannot start my job on that floor until I get the proper attire to be safe. And we will order that from Amazon to make sure she can start her employment. So those are the things that are a little bit different than what we are probably known for. We also have open professional development. So our workshops today are open to the public. We publicize them on social media and on our website. Women from all walks can enroll in our professional development. We also are an economic community retail resource. We have, today, we just got our keys and we moved into 1,000 square footage of 1,082 square feet so that we can expand our merchandise inventory operation. And from our worldwide guidelines, we can have clothing sales more often. So even though we're taking we do not charge women for clothing, but we can provide a program for the greater community because everyone is feeling economic kind of concerns today, where we can use that to invest back into ourselves. So we are planning to expand our clothing sales beyond. Thank you. We can advance our clothing sales to benefit the public, and we do have a following. Post-COVID or post the pandemic, we actually took our clothing sales out into the community. We partnered with organizations such as Edwin's Restaurant and Shaker Square, and so we have a grand following of women who are thriving in work that need that support as well. So that is one of the things that we're looking to change and make a product return. The other thing is that we're a contractual partner. We play any role you want us to play. We have the whole job readiness to job employment components ourselves, but we also partner with community agencies so that we can be a part of their process. So we're partnered with Ohio Means Jobs. We're partnered with El Barrio. We're partnered with the Cleveland Food Bank. So we are out, and one of the things that's totally different for us these days is 79% of what we do is outside of our brick and mortar office because we are meeting people where they are. And that made a huge turn for us in between 2022 and 2023. We increased our service and the number of women we serve by 63%. And we've been able to sustain that. In 2023, we served 953 women. This year, well, not this year, 2024, we ended up serving 977. So we're able to sustain that.
Okay, fantastic. Do you have more? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Go
that's
ahead.
okay. And the only thing that we're looking to do and what we're, and in your PowerPoint, you do have the demographics of who we serve and how we impact. But one of the things that we're hoping that this funding will help us do is we recognize our need to transition. And even though touching many, many women in the community is important, and we want to continue to do that, we're looking to return to making transformational changes a little bit more than the last couple of years. We had to take a step back and just let individuals know that we are still here and that we're available and accessible to them. So we use that meeting women where they are model to create that change. Because when you think of an organization 25 years old, the average 20-year-old to 25-year-old doesn't, unless they heard it from their grandmother, their mother, or their aunt, they don't know about us. And those are the women that need us as well. So what we're looking to do is to, like I said, change to make more of a sustainable impact on each individual woman. And we're hoping that these funds that if we are awarded will help us obtain a CRM system so that we can really track every movement of a woman. Right now, we're using Excel. And a point of sale system for the expansion of our merchandise inventory. And even that, track what you got and so that we can build upon what you got from us before instead of just giving you things. And then a staff expansion. Currently, we're a staff of 3 people, and we're all 3 full-time salaried, and we're looking to transition to a staff of 5 and shift to part-time workers and 1 full-time. And we think this will allow more individual focus on each operation of our organization and then more focus on each woman's needs in the different operations. So that is what we are hoping to do.
Thank you. Any questions?
I just had more of a comment.
Okay.
In a former position, I worked at Cleveland State University, and a number of young women had partnered with you through career services.
Yes.
And to see the impact of the work that your organization is doing in real time, and seeing young women that maybe didn't have experience or interactions with how to dress professionally or how to, portray themselves in a professional setting in terms of what they were wearing, to see the impact on their lives in real time was really incredible. So I've had, just loose interaction with your organization, but the work is transformative and incredible. So I'm just thankful that you came today, and kudos for the work that you're doing. And
Thank you.
excited to partner with you as we move forward.
Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So you heard the drill. We'll vote on this out of committee, and it will be read 3 times. So did you want to say anything, Board Chair?
I just want to say that I was here for moral support
Okay.
for Melanie, but she is a rock star, and as the board chair, she is absolutely stellar in her performance and her commitment to our community. She does have a mighty staff of 2 other women, that 3, she's in that, count, and she's like boots on the ground with that. The board is fully committed as well, and behind her, the board members are over 20 in number, from a variety of backgrounds, men and women included, supporting the vision of DRESS, which is very powerful. It's just what you said, Robert. It is allowing women to thrive, right, in their personal and professional lives with dignity and respect. And sometimes we don't always see that without the proper clothing, without the proper, training. We're not always getting that, but this organization is fully committed to making sure that those lives are touched and transformed, and we're looking to expand more in 2025.
Thank you so much. Councilman Jones.
Thank you for your presentation today. And when you mentioned Edwins, and we know the good work they do in helping the reentry population and apprenticing them, but the county does the same thing. We have partnered with Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries, and they created a company called Central Kitchen, and they prepare food and sell that food to the homeless shelters in the community, but they apprentice the reentry population as well while they are doing that work. So that is a population that I would love to maybe connect you with them, and there might be opportunity to further partner with a population that could certainly benefit from what you do well.
That would be great. Thank you.
So what we'll do is I'll connect you with our staff, and we'll look to build a partnership there with them as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Council President Miller.
Just an FYI, the targeted date for final passage is February 11th.
Okay, thank you. All right. Can I have a motion to move this out of committee?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your work and coming down on this cold day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next item is 2024-0435.
Resolution number 2024-0435, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the NAMC Northern Ohio Chapter for the Rosie's Girls Summer Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Anybody here to speak to this? Okay, so we're gonna, without anybody here to present, we'll have to table this. Okay, next, unless I'm missing something, Madam Clerk? No?
No, I wasn't notified that.
Okay.
Anyone
Okay,
wasn't
so
here.
we're going to table this. Next one is 2025-0005.
Resolution number 2025-0005, awarding a total sum not to exceed $15,000 to the Old Brooklyn Community Development Corporation for the Rip City Boxing Program from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
No takers, huh? Who's 3? Sweeney? Okay, so we have to table this one. So the next one would be 2025-0006.
Resolution number 2025-0006, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Eleanor B. Rainey Memorial Institute for the Rainey Institute Arts Education Access Program in Clark Fulton from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, council members. My name is Jennifer Harrison. I'm the executive director at Rainey Institute, and very excited to be here today. We do have a presentation, a PowerPoint or a show that we'll go along with. Should I just tell you when? Okay. I do want to thank you for your continued support. We were here, I think it was back in 2021, beginning of 2022, where we had an ask to support the Clark Fulton, the new development of our Clark Fulton Center called the Pivot Center. And we were awarded $250,000 in support of that construction. So you'll see, fast forward, and here we are back requesting dollars for programming. So I just do click. So Rainey Institute, if you are not familiar, it's where the arts change lives. We use art as the platform for inspiring and empowering youth and teaching lifelong skills. Just as kids go to basketball and football, we do the same thing at Rainey, but through art. So we were established originally in 1904 as a settlement house, but as the settlement slowed down, the board transitioned to focusing on the arts, specifically youth art education. We currently are serving around 1,200 youth a year at our various sites and locations. And again, this specific request is for Clark Fulton, and we'll talk about Clark Fulton in a second. So we teach visual arts and performing arts. And I was looking at this, I thought, oh my gosh, we forgot, we now have added on culinary arts. So we're excited to have done that. And we teach these through our core programming, after school, summer camp, preschool, and Saturday. And after school is what we're requesting our funds for. This is a space that we create for kids to come every day after school. It supports parents by bridging the gap for childcare as well. Kids arrive by bus or they're dropped off. They eat a meal and they engage in homework time, and then they have 90 minutes of an art-focused activity, whether it's our El Sistema music, our dance team, our drama program, or visual arts. And they do this year-round. So again, I'm here today to talk about the funding in support of our newest site, Clark Fulton. And you could see the before and after pictures. For me, it seems like it has been a very long road that went so fast. So I started at Rainey in 2019, and the need in the community, we knew that there was a gap and we needed to bring more programming. So we started the search, and you could see that we broke ground in 2022, and then here we are back here today after having opened the doors to programming in 2023. If you haven't seen the space, you're welcome. We love having visitors and showing not only our space off, but also the Pivot Center for Arts, Dance, and Expression. So who are we serving in Clark Fulton? We have been serving about 200 kids a year in our after-school and summer program. 75% are low income, 90% minority students. And parents, we pride ourselves in taking responsibility for funding about 90% of the total cost of care. So if you guys have kids, you know after-school programming costs around $150 a week for every day after school. Our parents pay $20, but unfortunately, this is still too much. We are seeing in that community specifically, more parents having an increased difficult time paying. So our scholarships and our assistance that we're offering and the money that we have to go raise has needed to increase. So it's about, parents are about $620 a year. It costs about $5,000 per child for the whole school year. So your investment will continue to support, stabilize, and add value to the Pivot Center, also create enhanced civic center collaboration, economic opportunities for the residents of that community, attracting new businesses and tourism, especially to that neighborhood in the Pivot Center, and offering a safe, nurturing, creative out-of-school time for youth and families in District 5. One of the things our strategic plan that we're working on is to help parents with the costs is to become licensed so that we could accept child care vouchers. And this is one of the ways that we're looking at helping to sustain the cost of the program. So we first have to become licensed, and then we will be able to serve those families. So since opening in 2023, we have really removed financial and geographical barriers to high-quality arts. We've filled this gap that has existed. Unfortunately, the gap it's still there. We know that there's more kids out there to serve, and we're working to figure out how we could serve them, because I think we're close to maximizing the space at the Pivot Center already. We have cultivated critical social emotional skills in youth. Like I said, we teach lifelong skills. These are confidence, self-esteem, collaboration, teamwork. These are skills that these youth are going to need lifelong. Supporting working families and creating economic opportunities. We have 16 permanent jobs and 20 seasonal positions at that center. So Pivot Center of our entire operating budget takes up around 33%, and we were requesting, as you heard, $10,000 to support the personnel costs and salary and wages and our teaching faculty. So in addition to us providing our own programming, we have felt that, we started getting a lot of calls about the usage of our space. So we wanted to open it up for partner organizations as well as community events. And so we've tried to maximize that by partnering and also bringing in people into the space, because some days it sits during the workday, because our program is obviously after school and in the summer. And we're looking to do more of that and inviting 2 other organizations in, perhaps more on a permanent basis, to use the programming for arts as well. So we have a very awesome, of course, have favoritism, a little snip of a project that our kids did to really showcase our innovative and creativity of our students. This is a project that the kids worked on for 4 weeks during summer camp, but only about an hour a day. These kids have not been in, majority of them, our program before. Some of them haven't picked up an instrument, haven't done any of this. Well, we took the Disney movie Sing and we stripped it. And the kids did everything, the music, the voiceover. We have a music studio in the Pivot Center, so they did the sound effects. So we want to just show you 2 minutes. I'm wondering if I click on it from here, if it will play. Somewhere. It's not clicking, Jordan. In the download. Technology. Yeah. Can you shove it in? Okay. Well, shoot. This is like all technology, right? This video, but we could pass it along. It's a really great video. It's amazing. Sometimes I think it was better than the Disney one.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
We'll
so that's
catch
okay.
up
It's
with that.
embedded in
It's
the
okay.
PowerPoint, but.
Okay.
So I guess questions?
The committee members, any questions? Okay, thank you so much. Well, I appreciate this presentation
Sure,
and the work you're
absolutely.
doing.
Thank you.
Without questions, I'll make a motion to move this out of committee to the next full council meeting for second reading.
Second.
Council President Miller, second. All in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. And then you can pass along, Madam Clerk, the PowerPoint, and we can
Yes, I'll do that.
check that out. Okay, 2025-0013.
Resolution number 2025-0013, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Neighborhood Leadership Institute for the Flagship Leadership Development Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Good afternoon.
Presentation. Okay.
We do.
Okay. So my name is Travell Hart. I'm the Executive Director of the Neighborhood Leadership Institute. Let me see. I just hit the arrow. Yep, I see. So that's me right there. I had to show a picture of my family too, because they're beautiful. This is the reason why I come to work every day. And so I had the privilege of starting off probably almost 20 years ago, basically leaving. I was a machinist for a while and that kind of stuff and doing a lot of technical stuff, but leaving that to actually
do full-time, finding ways to improve my community as a community organizer. And so I started working for Neighborhood Leadership Institute April of 2023. And I'm also like, so that's my family too, by the way. I'm also a graduate of the leadership program probably, I don't know how many years ago, but it was class 24. But if I just read the mission statement for Neighborhood Leadership Institute real quick. So we exist to develop grassroots leaders who rebuild the bonds of community, improve the quality of life of neighborhood residents through Greater Cleveland. And so we do that through leadership development. And I don't want to go through a bunch of the things. This says a lot of things that needs to be done in our community, right? And if we stay comfortable, those things can consume us. But if we activate the human capital within our community to actually be active participants in our own deliverance, we can do something. And so our theory of change can be summed up in this real simple statement. So invest in people, develop leaders, transform community. We believe that when you invest in people like how you guys are doing. I mean, I got my kids, they left, but my kids go to Rainey Institute too. It's a really good program. But like when you invest in people, you get the best of what community has to offer, and especially when you develop leadership and everything. And so that's what we do. So our bucket of work, so we're all over Greater Cleveland. But our program portfolio can be summed up in these 4 categories: health equity, youth development, and recreation and leadership development. And so just moving, so our health equity piece, we actually do a lot of work with the County Board of Health. I don't know if you guys know, so there's a large infant mortality issue here in Cuyahoga County, in Ohio, in the country. But here in Cuyahoga County, Black women are 3 times as likely to suffer from infant mortality deaths, whether or I can't remember what you call it. Either they don't survive the pregnancy or the baby doesn't survive the pregnancy. So we do a lot of work to actually do that. Our first program basically uses community organizing principles to actually activate the community so they themselves provide the proper education to their community and everything as far as that connecting mothers to resources. And then we do community baby showers, and then wrapped into the one community is the navigation. Basically what that means is that we actually go and invest in residents in the communities that are suffering, and they themselves figure out strategy, and they go out and find expecting mothers and bring them and connect them to resources. And since we began that project, the navigation partnership with the County Board of Health, I think we've navigated over 6,000 mothers and everything. And then we do Baby on Board, which basically provides bus tickets for expectant mothers. And then we do a lot of advocacy at the state level. And we train people to go out there and actually do the advocacy. So the other work that we do is youth development. So True to You program. So we're part of the Greater Cleveland Career Consortium. I'm sorry. So GCCC. You forgive me. This is just say GCCC. But long story short, we administer the True to You program, which is a curriculum that we've designed within our own offices and present as part of that curriculum, part of that consortium. But the main goal is to expose students to career options so they can begin to plan. But long story short, the True to You program is in every CMSD 8th grade classroom, and we recruit volunteers, community residents, and people, you guys can volunteer to actually go into a classroom one day out of the month for 7 months to actually present this curriculum and hopefully touch the lives of young people. We also do BRAVE, which is a program similar to True to You that does for 4th graders, but that hasn't been to scale yet. And then we do a Summer Leadership Academy and a Youth Leadership Academy, both in the city of Cleveland. The other thing we do is recreational programs. And so school is neighborhood resources, summer tennis, summer Collinwood, and Patterson Park. And so just talking about those a little bit. So that's in our sites. Basically, we convert school buildings into recreational programs throughout the, the programs from September to March. And we're in all 6 of those sites, and we basically get community residents to actually provide the recreational programs. And these are areas where there's not a lot of recreational programs going on. And so we actually have the community respond and actually, we organize them to actually provide the programming, and we give them a stipend, that kind of stuff. And that's a partnership with the city of Cleveland. The other piece too, just so you know, so the organization that I know Councilman Pernell Jones knows me from, and Dale Miller, I used to run NOAA, which was based in East Cleveland. Well, I left there and came to Neighborhood Leadership Institute, but the organization integrated into the Neighborhood Leadership Institute. So we still do property management of Patterson Park, which is the 2nd largest park in East Cleveland. City can't afford to do it. It started off by residents, including myself, wanted to see that asset, utilized and everything. And so we do that, and you can kind of see, like, we hosted a movie night but we keep it clean. We had Gospel Fest up there, et cetera. But all that to say, leadership development, this is what you're funding, leadership development right here. And this is a program that I benefited from. Just before I go into the video real quickly, I just want to say that some of the things that we really want to do is, it's my goal to use every bit of resources we have to really create an atmosphere of learning for grassroots leaders. The more informed people are, the better that we can actually work together and not out of insecurity, not like, people pointing fingers and attacking people, but actually being productive around like doing community good and improving our community. And so we really want to, so Neighborhood Leadership Cleveland is one of our programs, which I'm going to talk about. And even though it's Neighborhood Leadership Cleveland, it's actually Greater Cleveland. We have book clubs. We're going to be doing community organizing trainings. It's a whole bunch of other different things in there, learning circles. But the bigger piece that I also want to talk about that you guys are not funding, but just so you know who we are, we have this big 25,000 square foot building that we want to like repurpose so that we can actually utilize in the community better. But here is like a promotional video about our institute. We got sound? I guess I should have checked to make sure. So go in the video, not the PowerPoint. There you go.
Grassroots leadership training where folks from the community learn more about who they are as leaders and take what they've learned out into the larger community. In the words of our founder, Don Slocum, it is a course for folks with GEDs to PhDs.
In Cleveland, like most cities, there are leadership programs for corporate elites and political leaders, but there was no place for average citizens to go who are involved in their community, be it their school board or their PTA or perhaps their block club or their church.
Oftentimes, programs and initiatives are built for folks in the neighborhoods, but sometimes don't utilize the voices from the neighborhoods. It was key for initiatives to be successful, for the voices of the people in the neighborhoods that should be served to be involved in the overall work.
We are dedicated to making Greater Cleveland more inclusive and successful at serving the residents of each community.
So we know, that in the city of Cleveland, it has some of the most intense poverty rates. We have some of the most oppressive infant mortality rates in any major city in the country. They're really shocking. So we know that conditions in Cleveland are oppressive and wrong. The tools and the skills and the work that NLI does is that it gives power directly to communities and people affected and living through these issues.
It's always important in a democracy. We have to make sure everybody's voice is heard. And oftentimes I was on committees or in discussions in community meetings, and citizens had very genuine concerns and wanted to speak about those concerns. But when they were invited to a meeting with a council person or perhaps with a foundation, they couldn't speak their mind. So we decided, how could we help them to get some skills as they work in communities?
And so if we actually want to address poverty, if we actually want to address racism in a meaningful way, organizations like NLI help to foster power building among the communities that have been left out and mistreated.
Since 1994, Neighborhood Leadership Cleveland, in partnership with Cleveland State University, has worked to help both experienced and emerging leaders gain confidence, learn skills, and use their voice to affect change.
We start first with helping that person understand their own unique voice. And then we help folks see how their own unique gifts and strengths connect with others' unique gifts and strengths. And then we also help folks do team building. And then from working together as a team, help folks understand the landscape and the context of the work that they're going to be doing.
Graduates will join the Institute's growing network of more than 1,200 grassroots leaders.
One of the big things for NLC is the connection to other grads that are doing work in the community. So what we try to do is really try to connect those new graduates to the grads that are out there actually doing work in the sectors that they care about.
The experience was absolutely wonderful. I appreciate the way it was organized, the friendships I made.
These are people who do the hard work every day and are truly making a difference in their neighborhoods and in Cleveland, and that's the group of people I wanted to be with.
From the people I encountered, people who are doing a lot of good things in Cleveland and want to continue doing good things, I was able to meet a lot of those people.
How many people that work in different parts of the community that are a part of the organization that can help you in just the neighborhood you live in?
So I had a cohort of about 35 folks that were part of my class, and in that room was strength. You know, you had people from across Cleveland and the inner ring suburbs, and everyone, you know, people come to this class because they care about stuff, they want to make change. And so really I met a lot of folks who I'm still close with today, that I've done work with, I've built coalitions with, and really achieved change.
Through collective leadership and engagement, Neighborhood Leadership Institute is your gateway to improving the quality of life for our communities in Greater Cleveland.
I got to meet more people and know more about the people of Cleveland than I could have imagined, and now I get to grow those experiences and those relationships.
Understanding what resources are out there and how you learn or operate so you can best help others.
NLI teaches you how to lead, not just what you've been doing, but how to lead better.
It gives you real tangible tools to achieve social change, and then it gives you the people to do it with.
It takes everyone working together to address some of the issues that we're facing today.
We honor the work that you may have done already. If there are any gaps in your learning in regards to how to utilize your own voice, well, all we really want to do is maybe close some of those gaps and connect you to a greater community that's doing powerful work.
Neighborhood Leadership Institute, building leaders from the ground up.
So I don't know about you, but I'm inspired. I'm just saying. But anyway, so long story short, that's the work that we do, and the support that you provide us will help subsidize some of the holes that we have within our budget to provide this program.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions from committee or comments? Okay, thank you. We're gonna, I'll make a motion that this pass out of committee to the next full council meeting with a recommendation for passage, or recommendation for second reading.
Second.
Second from Councilman Jones. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you so much for coming down on this cold day and the work you do. We appreciate it. Thank you. Miscellaneous business, I have none, and we're going to adjourn.
Excuse me, Madam
Oops.
Chair, you have,
Oh, wait, the last one, 2025-0015. We do not have anybody here, right, from ACE? Correct. So that will be tabled as well. Sorry, I didn't say that for the record. Okay, now we're adjourned.